Next on WoodSongs, we're celebrating the great world of Kentucky bluegrass music with Don Rigsby with Sugar Tree, the 23-string band, Bawn and the Mash, and young Blakely Berger.
The television broadcast of the WoodSongs Old Time Radio Hour is made possible in part by Kentucky Proud and the Kentucky Department of Agriculture, supporting Kentucky-grown farm products used worldwide and in your hometown. Acoustic Rainbow, introducing songs from independent artists and small labels to over 1,200 acoustic format radio stations worldwide. Online at acousticrainbow.com. Support is also provided by viewers like you. Information on how to become a WoodSongs partner and support the growth of grassroots music is online at woodsongs.com. And by Insight Communications, providers of cable, high-definition television and broadband internet service.
Here on the Louisiana Hayride, his name is Hank Williams, the dressing cowboy.
On the Grand Ole Opry, Bill Monroe and his Bluegrass Boys.
Hi, this is Bruce Horns. Hi, this is Kevin Moe.
Hey folks, this is Bela Fleck.
Hi folks, this is Sam Bush.
Hello, this is Odetta.
This is Joan Baez, and you're listening to the WoodSongs Old Time Radio Hour.
And now, gather the family around and sit back in your easy chair. It's time again for the WoodSongs Old Time Radio Hour, our worldwide celebration of grassroots music. Let's welcome folk singer, author, and tree hugger, Michael Jonathan.
A few months ago, I was able to find something that every Kentucky fella dreams of. A log cabin on 7 acres. Me and the Banks learned really quick that there's a reason folk rhymes with broke. But we figured out a way, and the little log cabin became mine. And standing inside for the first time, you could hear the decades and decades and decades of stories and the children and the families that lived in those places before. The walls told a story. And this is the song that came from it. It's called Ghosts. I'll leave the light on, I'll unlock the door, and I'll light up a candle, and I hope you'll come home. It's an old log cabin, someone lived here before. I can see through these shadows, won't be back anymore. And this song needs a fiddle, this song needs a bow, and this song needs forgiveness, so it won't sound alone. There's a ghost in this cabin. She was here once before. Now I see through these shadows. She won't be back anymore. And this song needs her fiddle, and I need her bow, and even she needs forgiveness, so she won't sound alone. I'll leave a light on, I'll unlock the door, I'll even burn a bright candle, and I hope she comes home.
Troy on cello, Paul on bass. And welcome to the historic Kentucky Theater. It's so nice to see everybody filling up our room. We are celebrating the legacy and tradition of Kentucky bluegrass music on this particular broadcast. We are coming to you from our hometown of Lexington, Kentucky, the gateway city to the wonderful, magical Appalachian Mountains, the crossroads of America's folk and bluegrass music, where so much of this art was born and went all over the world. And we'll get to that in a second. We treat grassroots music as though it was a precious, beautiful gem, a diamond of many facets, and it's got so many styles. Each facet is like a style of music. It's folk and blues and bluegrass, country, Celtic, old-timey, new singer-songwriters, even rock and roll, rockabilly, classical. We've even had opera on our stage. We celebrate all the facets of the diamond because we find that if you ignore just one single element, one facet of this precious gem of grassroots music, you've really decimated the value of what it was meant to be. So we celebrate it all. Artists come from all over the world to be on our stage, and we say it often, and we mean it. You don't have to be famous to be on WoodSongs. You just have to be very, very good. And it was back in 1947 that a 30-something-year-old man decided that he needed a good song about his home state of Kentucky. And Bill Monroe sat down and he wrote what became the beginning of bluegrass music. This was the tune.
Blue moon of Kentucky, keep on shining. Shine on the one that's called true and true. Blue moon of
We've all heard the song. Elvis Presley covered it. Hundreds and hundreds of bands have covered it. It began a movement of music that has now become deeply entrenched in the American image. It's something that is played all over the world now. And in our home state of Kentucky, bluegrass is alive and well. And we are going to look at artists starting from the eastern side of Kentucky and go all the way over to the west. And the first one that I decided to build the show around is a very good friend of mine. We've known each other for years. He is a multiple Grammy Award nominated artist, a well-deserved, one of the finest voices in roots music. He's got a brand new album that's a tribute to Ralph Stanley called Doctor's Orders. This is one of the songs off that album called Medicine Springs. Please welcome my friend from Eastern Kentucky, Don Rigsby, to the WoodSongs Old Time Radio.
I wandered way back in the mountains. I was searching for fortune and fame. I found where the water runs sweet from the hills. They call it the Medicine Springs. They call it the Medicine Springs. It was there I met a fair maiden. Yellow hair and big eyes were blue. She told me one day she loved only me, that she'd forever be true, that she'd forever be true. Well, I wanted the best for my darling, but my pockets were empty and bare. My love was so great for this darling of mine, I took what another man had. I took what another man had. As I sit here alone in this jailhouse, with a letter I can't hardly read, it says my darling has left this old world. She's a-waiting in heaven for me. She's a-waiting in heaven for me. And someday I'll go back to the mountains where I'll spend the rest of my days. And the water that runs from the side of the hill will water her flowery grave, will water her flowery grave.
So his brand new CD, Doctor's Orders, tribute to Ralph Stanley. My friend Don Rigsby, it's nice to have you here.
Good to be here with you,
Good.
Mike.
You were with us back in the early days of the show when we were in the little studio.
Yeah, I remember capacity crowd being about 10.
Yeah, right, and that was a big crowd back then.
Yeah.
Right? Well, you know, all good things happen in time, right?
Absolutely.
You've been singing since you were a little kid.
Little tiny fella,
Yeah, music definitely part of your family.
Oh, yeah, ingrained in me from the time I was born.
And you are from the eastern side of the state. You're in the Appalachian Mountains, the hills and hollers around Sandy Hook and Moorhead and that area.
I was born in Ashland, Kentucky at King's Daughters Medical Center there. And such a small little area. My daughter and my son were both born there, and the same nurse that cared for me cared for them at the hospital. So
it's a big old family, isn't it?
Yeah.
So now you, part of your resume is you performed with our friend J.D. Crowe in New South.
Yeah.
You were in that band. And for quite a while, you were at the Lonesome River Band, right?
About 7 years, yeah.
And then you became the head of the Kentucky Traditional School of Music. Tell me about that.
Yeah, I was the first full-time director of the Kentucky Center for Traditional Music over at Moorhead State University. Was there for 8 years.
8 years, and then you struck out on your own. Always a scary thing, isn't it?
Yeah. I'm telling you what, I picked a really good economic time to try to be an artist full-time, didn't I?
But you're out there, you're singing. I know for a little while ago you went to Japan.
Yeah, I've been to Japan every year for the last 3 years, and I'm going back again in April.
Okay, so things are out there happening. You've got this new album, this tribute to Ralph Stanley, who I guess is one of the beloved.
Yeah, he's probably the last of the big old biggies that is out still touring.
Right.
And he's been a friend of mine since I was 6 years old. And I'm not telling you how old I am, but it's a long time. And he's on this project with me, along with Ricky Skaggs and Larry Sparks and Charlie Sizemore. I got Ron Stewart and Barry Bales on there with me, and James Allen Shelton from Ralph's band, as well as Steve Sparkman, who's from Nicholasville here.
Okay. So now this whole album are the songs that Ralph made popular? Yeah,
the Lexington has a prominent role in this record. Actually, Ralph and I met here in this town and picked out the songs for the project.
Oh, really?
So, yeah, he chose the songs with me one day.
Oh, well, that's a nice collaboration, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
well, good. The album is called Doctor's Orders. It's a tribute to the doctor himself, Ralph Stanley. This is a song off of that album called Brand New Tennessee Waltz. It's Don Rigsby on the WoodSongs, Old Time Radio.
Such a pretty face, you favor a girl I once knew. I imagine that she's in Tennessee. Oh Lord, I should be there too. But I left Tennessee in a hurry, dear, the same way that I'm leaving you. For our love is mainly just memories, and everyone's got 'em a few. It's a brand new Tennessee waltz, you're literally waltzing on air. It's a brand new Tennessee waltz, with no telling who will be there. Like I found your love, descending Victorian stairs. I'm feeling like one of your photographs, with not even you left to care. have all your passionate violins play a tune for a Tennessee kid who's feeling like leaving another town with no place to go if he did. It's a brand new Tennessee waltz. You're literally waltzing on air. It's a brand new Tennessee waltz with no telling who will be there. It's a brand new Tennessee waltz. You're literally waltzing on air. It's a brand new Tennessee waltz with no telling who will be there.
It's the music of Don Rigsby. And you can be looking forward to his new album called Doctor's Orders. It's a tribute to the songs of Ralph Stanley. If you want to know more about Don Rigsby, his tour schedule, his bio, which is very impressive, we encourage you to check it out. All you got to do is go to our website. Go to WoodSongs.com. If you click on the archive page, this is show number 659. We'll let you know everything you need to know about Don Rigsby, all the artists that you hear on this particular broadcast. Of course, Don started in the far eastern side of the state, around Ashland and Moorhead and that area. We're in the deep part of the Appalachian Mountains. We're going to move now towards the central part of the state, very near Lexington, Kentucky. There's a gorgeous artistic town called Berea. And in Berea, there are three ladies of song doing old-time music and bluegrass music, Deborah, Amber, and Megan. They're going to do a song that's unreleased at the moment, but it's a great song. It's called A Miner's Tale. Please welcome Sugar Tree to the WoodSongs Old-Time Radio.
Whoa, Junior packed his lunch like he'd done for 30 years. Been so long, he'd forgotten what to feel. He used to have dreams these mountains couldn't hold, all of which were sacrificed. Keep on digging coal. He kept on digging coal. Hazel pulled back her hair, trembling inside, whispering a prayer. He'd return alive. Abram kissed her softly as he walked out the door. Said, I'll be home before the evening shadows stretch across the floor, but he won't be back no more. Tell me your stories, I'll tell you mine. Makes for a pleasant way to pass the time. We risk our lives and they make the sale. There's a lot of misery in a miner's tale. His class had voted clay, most likely to succeed. He was headed off to college for an engineer's degree. Just a few more months and he'd have enough to go. There'd be no more digging in this godforsaken hole. No more digging coal. Tell me your stories, I'll tell you mine. Makes for a pleasant way to pass the time. Don't need an education, just a pickaxe and a pail, when your family's been written into a miner's tale. The rumbling has stopped, the lamps are growing dim, hope is running out and the air is getting thin. We'll make the headlines for at least a couple days, 'cause by this time tomorrow they'll be digging 13 graves, digging on our graves. Tell me your stories, I'll tell you mine. Makes for a pleasant way to pass the time. Say a prayer with me before our lungs fail.
It's music of a trio called Sugar Tree from central Kentucky, just south of Lexington on the Appalachian foothills of Berea, Kentucky. So let's say hi to Deborah first. You're the fiddler. And where are you from originally?
I grew up in Berea.
So you're a hometown girl.
Hometown.
And Amber, you play the acoustic guitar. Where are you from originally?
Madison, North Carolina.
Okay, and then we have Megan Nasman on banjo.
Yep, I'm from Anna, Ohio.
You're from Ohio. So how did the three of you meet?
We all ended up in Berea at various times. We all went to Berea College, and actually didn't go to school at the same time, but there's something that happens in Berea, and it's a very special place, and we were all drawn back to it. We'd gone off in the world and done our thing, and we decided that Berea was the place to be, and we were sitting around like any good musician, eating good food and playing music, and decided we wanted to play music together as a band.
Well, Kentucky has a lot of beautiful hometowns, Midway being one of them, Berea certainly among the finest. They've got a wonderful CD called Living Room Live. I guess this is what they're hearing you do on our show is exactly what's on that record, correct? Here's a tune called Keep On. It's Sugar Tree from Berea, Kentucky on the WoodSongs Old Time Radio Hour.
Spring in the South Fork River, walking on the railroad tracks. Do you love me? Can we last through all the obstacles we face? Keep on walking, walk along with me. Keep on walking to this song. Walk wild, walk free. Keep on walking, walk on. Yeah, keep on walking, walk on. Sweat and sawdust, summer weddings, driving, movie, dancing on the sidewalk to the beat of questions pounding in our hearts. Keep on dancing, dance on. Fall leaves and harvest moon, purple thistle, a broken watch. Hiking mountains after midnight, wondering if the answer is this. Keep on hiking, hike along with me. Yeah, keep on hiking to this song. Hike wild, hike free. Keep on hiking, hike on. Yeah, keep on hiking, hike on. Christmas lights in colored boxes, barrel blue and honey tea. Frozen waterfalls, mint ice cream pie, and my first kiss. Keep on kissing, kiss on. Seasons passed and you came to know a different kind of life. Well, I still love you, but I know that you must walk a different track. But keep on walking, I walk alone, you see. I keep on walking, I walk strong, I walk wild, I walk free, and I keep on walking, I walk on, I walk on, I walk on, and I keep on walking, I walk on.
From Berea, Kentucky, the sounds of Sugar Tree, Deborah Payne, Amber Field, Megan Nasman. We're going to get back to more music in the second half hour. We've got two great groups and a very young surprise. We'll be back with more music and conversation right after this.
This is your old buddy Ralph Stanley, and I'd like to tell you that you're listening to Michael Jonathan and the WoodSongs Old Time Radio Hour.
And thank you very much, Dr. Ralph. Subject of Don Rigsby's new CD. Always proud to have his voice on our show. And that's what we're celebrating on this broadcast, the great bluegrass tradition of our home state of Kentucky. We've had one artist from East Kentucky, Don Rigsby. We went to Central Kentucky and found Sugar Tree. Now we're moving into the Louisville area, and we found a great group that is a winner of the Rocky Grass in Colorado, and they're doing extremely well. We're very proud that they're here. They've got a first CD that was named after them. They named their first record after them. How unique. It's called East Kentucky Water. It's a great song about mountaintop removal. Please welcome our friends from Louisville, the 23 String Band.
Everybody pray for city water. There's a sulfur in the wells. The little ghost curls are lost with us in the moonshine with hell. But don't tell me about Mexico. This water's so bad. Cause the East Kentucky water is the worst I'd ever had. And don't tell me about Mexico. This water's so bad. Cause the East Kentucky water is the worst I'd ever had. Changing old school colors to gray and heavy blue. You know, these couldn't help the washing, and the fiddles couldn't help the taste. But thank God for the old spring on the hill on long hot summer days. Well, don't tell me about Mexico. This water's so bad. Cause the East Kentucky water is the worst I'd ever had. And don't tell me about Mexico. This water's so bad. Cause the East Kentucky water is the worst I'd ever had. Sit on heads for far too many years. Well, there ain't no fish in the river that suffer in their tails. But I love when these miners tap silver with their own brine. How the old white shirts turn the yellow from the white collar crime. Don't tell me about Mexico. This water's so bad. Cause the East Kentucky water is the worst I'd ever had. And don't tell me about Mexico. This water's so bad. Cause the East Kentucky water is the worst I'd ever had.
How to do it. Scott Moore on fiddle, Chris Schaus on acoustic guitar, Martin Stamm on upright, David Howard on mandolin, Curtis Wilson playing the banjo from their first CD, 23 String Band named after them. Let's say hi to David Howard first. He's all the way over there.
Hi, Dave.
Scott Moore, the fiddle player. I made a mistake. I'm sorry. So Scott, tell me about the beginning of the 23 String Band.
I'd love to tell you all about it. But I wasn't there in the beginning.
Well,
I joined the band about 3 years ago, and Chris and Kurt are actually founding members, and maybe Chris should tell you about that.
All right, Chris, why don't you tell us about the beginning of the band?
Well, I always say that we always worry about little decisions in our life, but I actually worry about big decisions in our life, but we worry about those as well. But I made this small decision to go to a wedding one time in Breathitt County, Kentucky, and I met this.
Was it your wedding?
No, it was not my wedding. And I met this girl there, Jamie Gaddis Thompson, who really liked my playing, and so she invited me to this jam session in London, Kentucky, and that's where I met Kurt, and we jammed till wee hours in the morning, and he said he liked my singing. I told him I liked his banjo playing, so we started a band, and our first band rehearsal, our mandolin player didn't even show up, so it was only a two-piece. So I guess it would be 11 strings.
11 strings. So the name had to do with the number of strings on the first incarnation of the...
In the beginning, it was banjo, guitar, mandolin, bass. And then we added a fiddle player, which made 27 strings. And then he got a 5-string fiddle, so it made it 28. And we had way too many T-shirts made up to change.
They say there's 3 types of musicians in the world, the ones who can count and the ones who can't.
Yes, well... I'll just let that sink into the audience's conscience there for a while. Let's go ahead and get Curtis to come on over here. He's got a really unique banjo, and I think it'll be fair to talk about that. Now, for the sake of the audience, it looks at first glance like a typical banjo. It's a resonator back, right? But your headstock is very unique.
Yes, it's slotted. It was made by a guy in Vancouver, British Columbia. His name's Jason Romero. He builds a lot of artsy, a lot of open back stuff, but I called him up and asked him if he could build me a resonator and put a wooden tone ring in it, and that's what he did, and I love it.
Now, you guys went to Colorado, and you entered into this major competition. Scott, this is something you could talk about because you were there for this.
Yeah.
So
and I remember it, too.
You remembered. You were alert enough to remember it. You go to Colorado. Rocky Grass is a huge festival, and all kinds of bands from all over the world go there, and 23-string band wins. Yeah. So, what'd that feel like?
Felt great. Yeah, there were a lot of great bands that were there, like you said, and from all around, and we felt really honored to come away with a blue ribbon. And we're going to be going back out there to play on the main stage this summer.
You find winning competitions like that actually help your bookings with other festivals and stuff, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's definitely helped a little bit. You know, if somebody's never heard of, a lot of bands are out there doing everything themselves, and we're still at that point right now. And so to have a little bit of extra credibility and cachet to kind of help you separate from the pack a little bit, every little bit counts, and definitely didn't hurt.
You know, years ago, there was a plethora of record companies. They were selling albums and stuff. They were signing artists and stuff. Now, here's an absolutely world-class band, the 23-string band. There's not a lot of labels to get signed to. You know, so you're putting out your own stuff. You're managing your own affairs. You're booking your own festivals, right? You have a booking agent. You're doing that yourself as well.
Yeah, you're talking to them.
You're talking. The fiddle player's in control of everything.
Yeah, it's a kind of a love-hate thing because, you know, this whole cottage industry thing, which so many musicians are doing, it's a blessing and a curse because you learn so much about how to make art and still survive and the business end of it, which none of us wants to deal with, but after a while it becomes rewarding because you see all the effort that you've put into not just writing songs and practicing your instrument and getting good at all the musical aspects of it, but all the time and effort that you end up putting into that end of it too pays off.
Well, the flipping back and forth from the right brain to the left brain, I mean, the right brain wants to create and sing and write and do all this stuff. The left brain has to call up that promoter who'd never returned your 15 other phone calls, and you're trying to figure out how to get them on, and that hurts.
It has to figure out how to get to WoodSongs in time for the sound check.
Yeah, which you guys did. You did fine. Well, let's get back into the music of 23-string band. They did just fine. Here's a brand new album called Catch 23, and this is a tune off that album that John Hartford did. It's called Long Hot Summer Days from Louisville, Kentucky. It's the 23-string band.
Some of these empties here just as soon as I know where they lay. Sign them up tight and I'll leave them lying on a long hot summer day. For every day I work on the Illinois River, get a half a day off with pay. Old sailboats building up barges on a long hot summer day. today. We're gonna get off the town and hot sun on a long hot summer day. For every day I work on the Illinois River, get a half a day off with pay. Old sailboats building up barges on a long hot summer day. For every day I work on the Illinois River, get a half a day off with pay. Old sailboats building up barges on a long hot summer day.
Oh, Kentucky's got a lot to be proud of. From the Louisville area, the 23 String Band. They've got a new album out called Catch 23. If you want to know more about the 23 String Band, any of the artists that you hear on our show, just visit woodsongs.com. Click on the archive page. This is show number 659. We're broadcasting all over the world and certainly all across the state. And we can't do a show about the state of Kentucky's music without thanking all our many, many affiliates that are broadcasting our show. First of all, our flagship station that represents us all over the world, WEKU out of Richmond, broadcasting in the Lexington area. WUKY, Joe Conkright's home radio station. From Don Rigsby's area, WTCR. We're also on the air in WEKU in Barberville, WEKF in Corbin, WGOH in Olive Hill and Grayson, WEKH in Hazard, Kentucky. And on the western side of the Kentucky, we've got a wonderful radio station, WKMS, broadcasting in Murray and Paducah, WWAG in Tyner, and in Whitesburg, a great community radio station, WMMT, and in Whitley City, Kentucky, WHAY. So glad for all of those radio stations. And speaking of WKMS and their broadcast area in western Kentucky, there's another great band that we're very, very glad. From their third CD called Confluence, this is a tune called the Paducah Rag. It's Bawn and the Mash on the WoodSongs, Old Time Radio. CD is called Confluence. The Paducah Rag from the Paducah area. Bawn and the Mash. You got Casey Campbell on banjo. Thomas Oliverio, did I say that right? I said it right. Eddie Coffey on upright bass, Josh Coffey on fiddle, Nathan Lynn playing the guitar. And let's say hi to Bray McCoy real quick. Bray, why don't you come forward?
Hello.
I don't want to say the word typical bluegrass ensemble, but we've got, you know, banjo, guitar, mandolin, fiddle, upright bass, and you are the unique fella. You're playing a very unusual percussive instrument. It looks like a walking cane.
I guess you could call it that if you like to walk and play rhythms.
Yeah, so tell me about this instrument. First of all, what's it called?
This is called the stump jumper, and yeah, stump jumper.
And okay, it looks like something that you'd bang on the floor.
Yeah.
It's got, we'll see what's got, some bells.
Let's see, we got some bells, some sleigh bells. We got a couple of pie tins. We got a spring, an old fence spring, or a screen door, I guess. And there used to be a little bell on here, bing, but I've kind of played that one out, I guess.
So how did you discover or find or make, or where did this come from?
Well, this instrument particularly was made by our bass player's dad, and I guess him and his wife got it for their wedding, and I was the one to take it out of the corner and bring it back to life after many years. So I'm glad I could be playing it and use it in the Coffey's band here.
Yeah,
so.
Really. Well, I mean, I think the audience loves it. It's very visual. It's very visual.
If you guys look really closely, it's actually got the Ed and Peg drawn on there, and it says 1979. So if you guys want to come check it out, it's actually on there.
Okay, cool. So how long have you been with Bawn and the Mash?
I've been with them about 5 years now.
So you're like an integral part. Let's say hi to Tom Oliverio, the mandolin player. So Bawn and the Mash, I mean, you guys are playing all over the place. You got a great reputation, and you're doing most of the book work and stuff on your own, like a 23-string band, or do you have an agent?
We do. We do it all. We do it all ourselves right now, but if there's anybody out there that's got the time and the skills, we'd love to.
You're
talk
shopping,
to them.
right? This is the newest album, and it's named after the band. This is a song called Boomtown from Western Kentucky. It's Bawn and the Mash on the WoodSongs Old Time Radio.
Excitement that has come over us. It's got them people discussing on every crowded bus. What is it that is shattered? A town's complacent calm, so sudden and unexpected, disguises the atomic bomb. Well, our streets so lately quiet, they're filled with trucks and cars, and full of strange new people. They might have come from Mars, courteous and friendly people, yet they seem so hurried too, not having the time to stop and talk the way we home folks do. Concrete, they build them houses by the score, hotels and shops and picture shows. They find them customers get lost. Now what his cause is flurry. It's got us all to ride. Could thy perchance be a building? Atomic glance close by.
We're traveling the state of Kentucky celebrating bluegrass music from western side of the state. Bawn and the Mash, great, great album, great band, and we've come to the end of a show, and we have yet one more artist to introduce everybody to, and she is 13 years old. Let's say hi to Blakely Berger. Did I get that right? You're 13, right?
Yes, I'm 13.
13 years old, and you have a fiddle in your hand. You love music. I've seen you play. You love music.
Yeah, it's my passion.
And you, I got to see you at something called the WoodSongs Coffee House at Natasha's Cafe.
Yes.
And you play there a lot.
I do. I play there once a month at Lex Jam on the second Saturday of the month, and then sometimes I get an occasional little gig of my own.
Little gig of her own, yeah. So you're already starting the independent booking thing, aren't you?
Yes.
So where does this love of music come from? Is it in your home? Is it just something you got to see? Like you saw Alison Krauss one day and you said, I want to do that? How did that happen for you?
Well, I've grown up with it in my family. Basically, my whole family, we're all musicians. And I started at a really young age, so I've just kind of grown to love it, too.
And so you play a lot, and we're going to get to listen to Blakely play her fiddle, and she's going to play a very wonderful Jay Unger song with our friend Don Rigsby, who is celebrating the release of his album, all about the songs of Dr. Ralph Stanley. But I wanted to sort of bookend the show with Don, since he opened the show. We'll let him play this wonderful song with Blakely. It's called The Ashokan Farewell on the WoodSongs, Old Time Radio. Thirteen-year-old Blakely Berger, wasn't she wonderful? Wasn't it great having Don Rigsby on our show from Eastern Kentucky, from the bluegrass region? A wonderful trio of great girls that we had on the show called Sugar Tree. From Louisville, the 23-string band, and from Western Kentucky, Bawn and the Mash. All these wonderful groups. It was 1947, and a young 36-year-old fella decided that he needed a great song about his home state of Kentucky. And he sat in his log cabin in Rosine, and he wrote a song called Blue Moon of Kentucky, and that song and that artist created an ocean wave, a tsunami of joy in festivals and artists from all over the world. And it was Bill Monroe and bluegrass music, and this music went everywhere because of the joy of it. This music carries with it the image and the power of the front porch. Remember front porches? They don't even build front porches on homes anymore. It was a way for people to gather in their hometowns and their neighborhoods to get to know each other on a summer afternoon, sipping iced tea and some lemonade and playing their mandolins and their fiddles and getting to know each other artistically as people. We miss that idea of the front porch, and bluegrass music embodies it. It embodies the idea of people performing together, liking each other, being a musical family, getting to know each other. So what I want you to do in your hometowns is recreate the front porch by gathering your friends together, not to watch TV, not to go to movies, not to do anything else, but to sit and play and sing. You will be surprised at the friendships that you will make through music. My name is Michael Jonathan. I'm a folk singer. I am a tree hugger. And we'll see you next week on the WoodSongs. Good night.
You've been listening to WoodSongs broadcast number 659. Michael's opening song was Ghost from his new album Front Porch, featuring Paul Reich on upright bass and Uni Toy on cello.
Thank you for tuning in. There are so many talented artists that appear on our stage. It's very hard sometimes to pick the ones that appear on our TV broadcast. So what we're going to do is leave you with a performance from our huge online archive of past shows. We'll see you next time on the WoodSongs Old Time Radio Hour. Well, you're here. You're going to do a duet with J.D. Crowe. We've invited our friend Scott Napier from Clay City, Kentucky, who's on tour with a bunch of bands right now, including Marty Rayburn. And he was with WoodSongs for about a year. Nice to have Scott back. And you guys are going to get into a pretty fun song, a Bob Dylan song, the Nashville Skyline Rag. It's Sia Cherry Holmes, J.D. Crowe, and Scott Napier.
The television broadcast of the WoodSongs Old Time Radio Hour is made possible in part by Kentucky Proud and the Kentucky Department of Agriculture, supporting Kentucky-grown farm products used worldwide and in your hometown. Acoustic Rainbow, introducing songs from independent artists and small labels to over 1,200 acoustic format radio stations worldwide. Online at acousticrainbow.com. Support is also provided by viewers like you. Information on how to become a WoodSongs partner and support the growth of grassroots music is online at woodsongs.com. And by Insight Communications, providers of cable, high-definition television and broadband internet service.